Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We are going to do a tarot, well, we're going to do a reading, collective reading, obviously, that's all we do. But I'm being called to use the Voyager Tarot and the Gaia Oracle. So, these cards are really thick and big, so I have to split the deck into two and shuffle. Alright. How's everyone feeling today? Okay. Now we have our two, and let me go ahead and let me try and shuffle them together. Let's see what comes out. Delusion. Uh-oh. Delusion, logic, and feeler. That's funny. I love these collages. So crystals in this deck represents enlightened thinking. I think, what do the crystals replace from the normal tarot? I don't remember. And compassion. Do they represent the swords? I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. So it's air energy. The crystals are air energy, even though that's a very much a earth passion, compassion, and then passion, and then brilliance. You know that saying from the Icarus project back in the day, it was like navigating the space between brilliance and madness. And with this delusion and logic here, absolutely. We do have the tower coming out. Oh, this is definite. I love this deck. So we're reading for like collective consciousness, regenerator. Let me get one more up here. I did a reading not too long ago that was called, what is it called? Something about delusion, disassociation, and there's another D. Alright, we have 10 cards of these, so I'm gonna put them away. The Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. Why is this so difficult? Alright, and then let's get our Gaia. Our Gaia guidance. And then we'll look into this a little deeper. Did I tell you that the Moon and the Magician were the last two that came out? I don't know if I did. Don't think I did. So what tower moment, what change, good or bad, are you experiencing right now? And it could have something to do with your feelings, either hindering your own feelings from being there, feeling weird about having feelings. Oh, this is actually a really dope reading. I like this a lot. Okay, we're going to go through these and then we'll pull Gaia. Because this is its own story right now. So we have Delusion first, 10 of Crystals. And coming out underneath that is Passion, 10 of Cups. So that's pretty powerful. Whatever 10 of Crystals, so this is replacing swords in the traditional tarot. So 10 of Swords is like backstabbing, betrayal, the most harsh kind of betrayal or backstab, right? So coming out with passion, what have the people around you told you about your dreams, your passions? Have they told you you're delusional? Have they told you you can't do that? Have they told you that's not normal? Why would you do that? What kind of judgment have you received about your passion? And what has that made you do? Have you stopped looking into those passions? Have you stopped trusting yourself? At what point in time were you told you were delusional about something that you loved? Alright, moving on from that, we're doing 4 of crystals, so that's 4 of swords with the ace of crystals, which is the ace of swords in traditional. So the 4 of swords speaks a lot to like healing, rest. The traditional tarot photo is this person laying down with like 3 swords under their bed and then like having one on their chest. So like, what are you protecting so dearly with your logic? And this is giving X, so like X marks the spot. What is your logic telling you about said passion? Okay, because that's the main thing. As we talk about coming into our consciousness, trusting our vision, stepping into our calling, changing the world by changing ourselves, X marks the spot. What logic do you have about your own path? And then we have brilliance. When do you trust yourself, right? So logic and brilliance, these are, like I said, the crystals represent enlightened thinking in this deck. So I think there's this fine line also between logic and delusion, which they came out right next to each other, but we're reading the columns. So what brilliance within your passion, right? We already talked about this with the delusion. What can you step back into and know that it will happen? Like, what first step can you take to reclaim your agency, your passion, your calling? And if you've already taken that step, then just keep going with your logic and brilliance. But I think all 4 of these cards, delusion and logic, yes, there's a fine line there. Again, there's a navigating the space between brilliance and madness, right? Brilliance and delusion with logic and passion. Okay? I didn't dub that saying. That was the Icarus Project's slogan, I guess, a long time ago when I was working with Radical Mental Health Space. Okay? That's really dope. Alright, so that's our core energy for today. What we're going to be talking about as we continue through these Voyager Tarots are ways to do this, okay? And that's what the cards are saying. So, next we have the Feeler with the Tower. Tower moments are moments of forced change for the most part. Either lessons being learned or opportunities being had. And this is the Child of Cups, so that is, your cups are your emotions. So we've been doing a lot of conversation and work around inner child healing. I just did a really great childhood regression reading the other day. If you're feeling called to, like if you're experiencing a tower moment right now and it has something to do with your feelings, either avoiding them or expressing them freely and being rejected, or remember, rejection is protection, or redirected. Either way, whatever tower moment you're experiencing at the hands of something you're feeling about, a breakup, a move, a career shift, whatever that is. It could be positive, it could be negative. Usually that depends on what lesson you need to learn in your karma credit. But getting into your, wow, there's a lot of other people's kids on this card. Getting into your, and they're all white. Why do they do this? Why do we have to do this? Whose kids are these? I really like these cards. That sucks. I hate it when I have problems with the photos. Anyway, sorry, side quest. What inner child, what is your inner child? We all have this little one inside of us, because we've all been children before we've reached this point that we're in right now. And what does your child within you love? What was your passion when you were little before other people told you were delusional? You know, did you want to be a firefighting ballerina teacher? You know, what did you want to do? Why can't you do all three of those things? Why can't you, you know, create your own firefighter teacher ballerina space? I mean, there's lots of times that firefighters don't need to respond to fires. So within that time, you could be your ballerina teacher, or, you know, you guys could learn your alphabet while doing pirouettes or something. I don't fucking know. Either way, whoever told you shit was crazy, unrealistic, fuck those people. And get back into your childlike wonder. Get back into your childlike feeling. That feeling of anything is fucking possible. Now, I know looking at the current climate of things, you might not feel like that, but now's the time to really take a chance on some stupid shit, because there's literally nothing else to lose at this point. The universe, the world, is begging us to create new ways. So maybe the future is ballerina firefighter teacher, okay? Who fuck knows, alright? Moving on to compassion. Okay, one more time with this. With the tower moment here, release the limitations that society and others have placed on you, and allow that preconceived notion or thought, allow those things to fall away, okay? Like allow your brain to recalculate life, reimagine things, okay? All right, moving on. Now we have regenerator and compassion. Compassion for self and compassion for others will regenerate you. It's a really good way to collect good karma credit, is to be compassionate when you're out in the world to the best of your ability. Remember that saying our parents all told us, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you can't put a mask on for the times that you're around others and just be like a cool human without putting all of your bullshit on others, especially in passing, that's the way to go, okay? What kind of compassion do you need to have for yourself in order to regenerate your own ideas, your own ways? So we have the Sage of Cups and we have the Three of Wands. Wands are what? Fire energy. So with cups, so with water and fire, what balance can you have? With Three of Wands, with fire energy being, is that the compassion one? Making sure that you're not like blowing up over shit that really doesn't matter, right? We want to stay in this space of gratitude and joy and receptivity as much as possible so that we can regenerate our energy and also support the regeneration of others around us, right? Give people that lighthouse that they need. Because we're all kind of, scrambling around in this darkness right now. That's very real. The last two cards are two from the Major Arcana, the Moon and the Magician. The Moon in the traditional tarot is the sign, the Major Arcana for Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign, and also the North Node, which is your cosmic purpose, like what we're talking about, is in Pisces until July of next year. So take this time to focus, to illuminate, right, like a full moon, illuminate on what it is you really want to manifest with the Magician here. I've done a lot of things about manifestation over here in the collective readings. If you need some help with that. I think, again, speaking to this childlike wonder, getting back to this space of allowing ourselves to really think and believe without societal strength or constraints. Remember, though, that we are in cycles. So remember that even if you are in a magician or manifesting energy, that doesn't mean that it's going to be constant. Think of the Wheel of Fortune, which is another major arcana, but because of the moon cycles, right? Sometimes it's nothing, sometimes it's full. Sometimes it's waxing, sometimes it's waning. So again, finding that balance within manifesting magician. So don't lose hope, don't lose sight on your goals just because you're in a season of waning or darkness. Trust and believe and continue working towards alchemizing, transmuting your energy and the energy of others around you with this compassion and regeneration, right? That's what feeds your magic. That's what the way you treat others is what gives you your magic. So don't lose hope, even if you are in, a cycle. And give it time, divine time, right? Because the moon cycle does its own thing for 28 days, right? So don't lose sight of that. All right. One more shuffle, and then we're going to get some info from Gaia. Sacred journey, life cycles, family, and transformation. So I would say that's this overall process. Winter's End, regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcomes. So that is the second time regeneration came out today. Really, do you guys want a definition on that? Let me get you a def, just in case. Because when they come out twice, it's important to make sure we have a complete understanding. Regeneration. Oh my, what? Ew. What is, ew. What is all that? I feel like that's big pharma shit that just came up. Okay. The action or process of regenerating or being regenerated. I hate it when they do that. I hate it when you put the word in the definition. Regrowth. Bring into renewed existence. Generate again. Bring new and more vigorous life. Revive. Give a new and higher spiritual nature too. So, as a whole, just believing in yourself, first and foremost, your higher self as well. If that's a new term for you, your higher... That's Woodstock. He's barking at cats. Woodstock, hush, I'm doing work. They're just cats and they're always there. No. There's literally so many cats outside. I don't know why he barks at them sometimes. Flame tree, the start of something new. Coming out right under this tower, which again, depending on your karma, is good or bad. And even if it is bad or good, there's good and bad within it, right? There's always a contrast, an equal contrast within anything. The thing that matters most is how your attitude, your ability to move through things and having an attitude of gratitude, and also that faith and trust and that belief of like, okay, whatever, it's bad for right now, but like the moon, we're gonna cycle out of this. Like there's a lesson within everything, okay? It's how you choose to navigate that. Peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. So coming out under compassion and regenerator. Again, we already kind of touched on that. And then last, we have healing, reconnecting with your true nature, which is exactly what we started the reading with delusion and passion. Okay? Let's do, I feel like I don't want to leave you yet. Okay, we're going to do a sneak peek on the Raise Your Vibe today. Just to get you, actually, let's do a sneak peek on all three of these that I do in the afternoon time, because these are kind of questions that will help you, I'm not doing that one, help you maybe connect back to this part of you. Okay. So these are the short projects I do in the afternoon. The first one is the Know Thyself prompt, and that is, how did you help someone today, and how did that make you feel? So these will be posted later today, not right now. Our Raise the Vibe is believing is seeing. Okay, and then faith. When you leap, the net appears. The moment that seems the longest is the one right before you land. Okay, and I think that all three of those are really speaking to this reading. So have a good one. Really trust yourself. Get yourself a manifestation notebook. Be open to receiving signs from the universe. Those come through in song lyrics or songs on the radio, especially. The numbers around you, time, angel numbers, which are like repeating numbers. You can easily Google any of those things and they will just give you a little oomph. Continue doing your affirmations, really raising your own vibration, and stand true to who you are. Don't trip on what other people think about what you're doing or think about you. Those are the people who don't know what they're doing for themselves, and what they're doing is projecting, because a little part of them is jealous that you are able to express or to do those. And so we meet those people again with this compassion, and we recognize that, we were once in that spot and we needed a guiding light out. That's that lighthouse. When we step into our power, we inspire others to do the same. Okay? Have a good one.